Hi, my name's Imani. This is me. When I was a kid, I hated my name. It was in some other language, people couldn't spell it, they could barely pronounce it. In fact, let me give you a rundown of some of the random spellings I got of my name as a kid. Emani, Emoni, Emony, Eemoney. The list goes on and on. Throughout a lot of my adolescence, I wished I had a different name, something more common. But now, as an adult, I felt a little more conflicted about my name. I decided to, with the help of my friend Robin, ask people about their names to see if I could better understand my own.
Like my full name. My name is Helena Shanta Saunders. I go by Lena most of the time. That's what most people know me as. My full name, Helena, is quite contentious in my family. I was raised Hindu, and we have this belief that you have like a secret name at birth. It's like a bad translation. It sounds very weird, but your first name, that your actual name is, and your secret sort of home name can't start with the same letter, and mine both start with H. My mom hates that my name is Helena because it's really bad luck. Ever since I've grown up, she was like, you need to change your name, otherwise you're gonna die. When I was growing up, I really didn't like it, and I think that was mainly because I wanted to make my mom like happy, obviously, and I didn't want her to be worrying about my name and like my future because of my name all the time. And that feeling is still there, but I'm also happy about it now. So it's very like bittersweet. Like I have mixed feelings about my name, and I think to me it really means like more than anything, like my sort of journey on loving myself and loving my culture.
My name is Daniel Chase Ressler. My first name is my dad's name. I was named after him. He was named after his uncle, who was named after his father, and it's been passed down generation by generation. But in order to give myself a little bit of autonomy, my parents let me go by my middle name. The name Daniel felt like it belonged to my family, felt like it belonged to people who kind of bestowed it upon me, whereas Chase is my own name. It's my own thing and it's my own identity. But at the same time, I have to kind of honor the first name that was given to me and make all the Daniels before me proud.
My name is Olivia, Olivia, but I almost always go by Liv. The people who were close to me always called me Liv, and then everyone else called me Olivia. And then towards the end of high school, I realized people that just like called me Liv without me initiating that made me feel so much more comfortable. Because Olivia is such a common name and such a gendered name, that's been a little bit tough in like the last few years. I think there are a lot of things I'm proud about, and that's my name isn't necessarily one of them.
My first name is Maisie. It's spelled Maizie. My parents were very torn as to what to name me. They could not agree on anything. So they asked my 2-year-old brother at the time what his favorite girl's name was. And he was watching the show Maisie Mouse at the time. So he said, Maisie. I've gotten, of course, Maze the Craze. My grandpa, he calls me Maisela. It's, I guess, a Jewish New Yorker thing. I guess I've just adapted to the Maisie lifestyle. I still don't love my first name.
Okay. My name is Lily, spelled Lily. I do have another name, which is my Chinese name, which is Long Li Fei. In my freshman year at CC, before I came, I went by Li, just to shorten that. And then in my third block and fourth block, I went by Fei, which is that second part of my name. There was this sort of feeling of imposter syndrome with that, so I switched it back to Lily. I have a very Caucasian-sounding full name, which is Lily Price, and so I feel like sometimes I wish that conveyed a little bit more of my cultural identity to people. Hearing sort of my mom's explanation that it was my great-grandmother's name and she was very close with her grandmother. While I personally don't have a lot of warm feelings towards it, I guess, I know it comes from like a place of love.
My name is Greer Ghazi Harnden, and my first name is spelled Greer. My mom felt pressured to choose a name in the hospital, so she just went with Grace. They always knew they were going to change it, and my mom asked my dad if I should be named Greer or Greta, and he chose Greer, and then they went and got it legally changed, so it's crossed off on my birth certificate. I also love that my parents chose it when they kind of knew me as a kid.
My full name is Albert Lowe, Albert, last name Lo, but I go by Al. In high school, when I did improv, someone made that joke, like aloe vera or something like that. And it was like, yeah, that's actually kind of quirky. That's actually kind of cool. When I went to college, I'm like, okay, how can I make sure I change myself? How can I make sure I can put a different foot forward? How can I take a better step forward as well? Changing my name to Al is sort of like, this is a new me. This is who I am now. This is what I'm working towards.
My name is River. I spell it River. I just wanted something that was not anything related to my old one. It is leaving behind what is attached to my old name and starting over. Hearing it with my friends and hearing it with people I associate with, being happy with them knowing me in that way and understanding that is something that I will appreciate forever.
Okay, my name is Colleen, and it's Colleen. My name is Gaelic, and it translates to girl. Over the course of my life, the experience with quite literally being named girl has shifted. Either I feel really frustrated about being named girl when I'm not even sure if that's how I am, or I can be well, now I'm just a new definition of what that is. The continual claiming of this as mine also feels like the continual claiming of whatever my understanding of my own gender is and is becoming. So I mean, I really like it. Gaelic and the fact that it's part of Western Europe, part of the West, means that it is read as being an English name, even if it isn't. And so with that comes a lot of privilege. The fact that everyone's oh, Colleen, cool, sweet, and they're not how do you spell that? I don't think it creates necessarily the barrier that might come from having a name that is read as non-English.
Okay, so I've gotten everyone else's story about their name, where it came from, what it means, why it's important. But I want to take us back to the story that we started out with, and that's the story behind my own. Hi, my name is Imani. Imani. My name in Swahili means faith. And according to my mom, she found my name in a name book. She was just like, this name is really cool. But she didn't really know why she was naming me that. For context, I was an emergency C-section. I had my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. And so that was a very scary situation for everyone involved. When all of that was figured out and my mom held me in her arms for the first time, she said that in that moment, looking at me in my little baby newborn eyes, that she saw faith in herself, faith in the world, and most importantly, faith in me. Now, since that time, I've become a lot of things: a dancer, a filmmaker, and a friend. In doing all of those things, I start to wonder, do I have faith in myself? Do I really ascribe to the name that I was given? After a certain point, that doesn't really seem to matter. I think what matters is who I've become, what's important to me, what is a representation of me. For me, my name gives me a hope that 12-year-old me who resented my name is proud of the person that I've become now. My name that was almost insignificant has become something so much more profound for me.